wasn't for fish, I would not be here anymore, because all this traumatic loss and everything has just slowly been nipping away at me to the point where I just figured, what's the point? Why am I still here? I should just be gone, and that way I can be with all the people that I've lost. So this is going to be a little bit of a depressing video, but also a happy one. So those of you that know me know I've gone through some stuffs in my short time on this lovely thing we call Earth. And I figured I would share it with everybody on the internet almost a year after my coming out video, just because I feel more comfortable now online. This video is just going to have B-roll of fish and things, because I don't need y'all to see me tear up if I start tearing up while I'm talking about this, because I guarantee you this sad, sappy story is going to make me a little sad. I usually get sad when I talk about this. So, I'm gonna cut out here. I hope you guys enjoy the video. And if you do, please remember to subscribe, because I do love it when you guys subscribe and support me that way. Leave a like if you did. And if you think this might help someone else out once you hear what's going on, please do share it out, because you might just save someone's life. Okay, so this is, again, going to be extremely different. And maybe a little difficult for me. I don't know. I've only told a handful of people, both in the fish fam and in my life, about this stuff. So it's very, personal to me. But I'm going to start at the beginning. So back several years ago, over a decade ago now, I met the first person that I would consider a boyfriend that I dated. He was a young man from Australia. His name was David. He looked kind of like a character from an anime, which is how we started talking. He looked like Tamaki from Oran High School Host Club. If you know what that is, I'll put a picture on screen so you can see kind of what he looked like. And we started talking because, we'd role play and he'd be Tamaki and I'd be the host club and whatever. And then it got to the point where we started talking on a more personal level. And not just, he was a character and I was a person. And it got to the point where, at the time, I was still not fully out yet. I was more, in that bi phase before you were willing to admit that you are full-on gay. And I, said I had feelings for his best friend at the time who we went to high school with. And that's kind of how I got my foot in the door. And then over time, I'm like, I don't have feelings for this chick. I have feelings for him. So, David and I talked the entire summer between my senior year and my freshman year of college. We had met my junior year of high school into my senior year of high school. We talked, and I was like, I kind of like this guy, but I didn't know at the time. And, we met, we hung out here when he was over here with his dad for business, and then after, our first kiss, we decided we were going to start going out. And it was long distance, so it was tough. We always made time to talk to each other and whatnot. And then, about 2 years in, Australia had some flood issues. And him being the wonderful person he was, decided that he wanted to help out with the, recovery and whatnot. And I remember waking up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning on a school night, which for me is unusual because I usually don't get up until right before school starts and get dressed and drive. And I remember waking up with this pain in my chest, and I'm like, what is going on? And then I get a message on Messenger within 5 minutes of me waking up, maybe even less. And it's his dad. And he's asking if I'm the one his son's been talking to all the time. And I'm like, yeah. And he proceeds to thank me for making his son feel happy again ever since his mom had passed away. And then he finally got to see him smile again. And then he informed me that David had, passed away because he drowned. And, I'll admit, I kind of knew something was wrong when I woke up and literally had chest pains. And then he messaged me this. So, that was my first bout with losing someone that I cared deeply about. Then, my freshman year of high school was way before this, but I lost my grandfather, and then the following year, I lost someone that was like a grandfather to me. The following June, I lost I lost my father's father, and I kept losing someone every year of high school. So every single year of my high school life, I lost a family member, or someone close to me as a family member. So I'd been through a lot, but this probably affected me the most, because it was the first person I'd ever loved. It was the first boyfriend I'd ever had. And I swear we were soulmates, because the second we met and we started talking, just this something clicked in me, and I kind of felt complete in a way I hadn't felt in a very long time, ever since my grandfather passed my freshman year. And he just helped me feel that hole in my heart that I'd had all those years after I lost my grandfather, who practically raised me. So I lost both my grandparents, several family friends. I lost a cousin near college. I lost an uncle. I lost a couple aunts, very close family friends. And after David, I wasn't looking for anyone else. And then I met this person online again, and we started talking. And he was still hung up on an ex, which I get, because I was too. And my problem was they lived closer than me and him did. But we got to talking, and eventually he realized that he cared more about me than his ex now. So we started hanging out, we started going out, and then a couple months in, he breaks the news that he has stage 3 lung cancer and only had about 6 to 8 months left to live. And at that point, I was like, are you kidding me? This is the second one. But we kept it going until eventually I just stopped hearing from him, and his mother and father were like, he passed away. So that was my experience with a second boyfriend. And you're all probably wondering, why is this going on a fish channel? Well, this is going on a fish channel because at one point, I will admit I had a gun to my head, and I was willing to just say screw it all and end it right then and there. And after listening to John Hudson from KT Tropical's Fishkeeping as a Religion, or whatever the title was, I can't remember now, from Aquariums Chicago last year, it just always got me thinking that, fish and the fish keeping community online is what kept me from, ending it and just being no more. And I just figured I should share what's going on. So that's how this connects to fish. Because if it wasn't for fish, I would not be here anymore. Because all this traumatic loss and everything has just slowly been nipping away at me to the point where I just figured, what the hell's the point? Why am I still here? I should just be gone, and that way I can be with all the people that I've lost. But thanks to fish and keeping fish again, I found a purpose in life, or a joy in life, I'm not sure which you want to call it. And then, of course, the online fish keeping community has helped me significantly and kind of slowly, but piece by piece, kind of brought me back to how I used to be. I know I'll never be exactly how I used to be before all this stuff happened, but fish keeping and the community has slowly gotten me back to a point of more stability, both emotionally and just mentally being more stable. Okay, so after the second boyfriend died, oh no, the universe was not done with me. So I met this kid, not this kid, he was 20 at the time, and I think I was 21 or 22. We met at a convention here in town, or not in town, but local to me, and we just started kind of hanging out, and then one thing kind of led to another, and we hit it off pretty well, and he had asked me out, and I'm like, yeah, let's go for it. Well, about a month after that, it was on the news that 3 local people, 2 guys and a grandmother, had passed away in a house fire. And lo and behold, when I checked online and they had pictures of everybody, it was the guy that I'd been dating for a month, and I just assumed he was busy and wasn't talking to me. Nope, he died in a house fire, smoke inhalation, when their Christmas tree caught on fire. So that was my third loss. And at that point, I, again, was like, you know what? I'm just done. This was all, of course, before I started keeping fish again and whatnot. Then I found a different community. It was a gaming community, and I was super invested in it. I was friends with a bunch of the pros. I was modding in all their Twitch streams, and I thought that I'd finally found a group of people that I could count on and rely on. Well, then I was accused of asking for one of the pros' girlfriend's nudes, and now at the time I was fully out, so it was completely bogus, but she was drunk one night and accused me of asking for nudes of her. Got back to the boyfriend berated me across the internet, and I got kicked out of every mod position I was in, basically got kicked out of the community, and no one from there was talking to me. That was the final straw for me, and that's when I was ready to give up and just say, to heck with everything. I have a gun right in front of me. I'm just going to put it to my head and pull the trigger and just be gone and not be here anymore. And it was around the same time that I started keeping fish again, and I was watching a couple streams. At the time, I think I was only watching KG Tropicals, of course, John and Lisa, and I think the Co-op were the only two I was watching constantly. I could have been watching Fisherman Fever and River Life at the time, Rack Cross, but it's kind of a blur back then. And I remember I was sitting here, I was contemplating it, and then my phone goes off, and it's a notification saying, hey, KG Tropicals is live. And for whatever reason, I just clicked on the stream, and I just started chatting and kind of hanging out with people. And John and Lisa were so sweet, and they said hello and hoped I was well. And I was like, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, keeping fish and being a part of this community is worth something, and I could be happy again keeping fish. And at the time, I only had 2 fish tanks. Just started making videos, not super into it. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this crazy world one more shot and see how it goes. And now here we are. We're now in fall of 2022. I'm at the same job I was. I love my job. I'm part of the fish fam. The fish fam is a lifesaver. Literally a lifesaver, because without them and without fish keeping, I just wouldn't be here. So that is the whole point of this video, that fish can 100% save lives. And without fish, and without the wonderful people in this online community, I would probably not be here anymore. And I can't remember, I might have touched on this in my other video when I came out last year, but I don't remember, and I've never, ever, ever fully talked about this online. I'm pretty sure only about 5 or 6 people in the fish fam know about this. Only 3 coworkers know about my situation, didn't know about the suicide or attempted suicide thing, or that I was heavily medicated. I don't think I told anybody this, but at one point I went to my doctor after my cousin died, and I'm like, I can't sleep. And he was like, well, what's going on? And I'm like, I don't know, my cousin just died, and I just can't sleep ever since he did, because we were only a couple years apart. And he asked the golden question. He's like, what do you think, you're depressed? And honestly, I didn't know what depression really was or how to quantify it. And I was like, I don't know, maybe because we were close in age and kind of close-ish, not super close. And then he prescribed me some medication, and I took it for a few months, and it just kept me in this constant haze. And I was just like, I'm not myself when I take this stuff. So I did what you're not supposed to do, and I took myself off of it. And then I found fish again, and keeping fish. And that's kind of what's been keeping me going, honestly. So fish are extremely therapeutic. I'm pretty sure it's been scientifically proven that fish are therapeutic and can save lives. And just looking at a fish tank releases endorphins and just makes you happy. And I am the poster child for that, because without fish, and without my now 30 tanks, the fun guy that you guys like to hang out with on streams and watch videos with just wouldn't be here. And I'm just so grateful for everyone in this community and my fish. and getting to experience, a community again and be part of something that's bigger than me, and just a wonderful world of keeping all different kinds of fish. There are so many kinds of fish that I didn't even know about. And looking back, I feel like if I hadn't met mostly John and Lisa and James from Fish from Fever and Chattanooga Ed and Zen Ginger and of course Rack from River Life, there would have just been no point. And without those people and without these fish, I would have probably pulled the trigger, literally, and just said goodbye and not been here. I was literally at the point where I had written a suicide note and I had an email scheduled to send to my mother, and I was just going to do it at night and say, be done with it. But fish and keeping fish and working with plants and aquascaping, or my version of aquascaping, where I try to make things look natural or do fun things in tanks, and then of course hang out with everybody, be in live streams, and all that stuff has helped me. I know it's helped other people. So whatever your issues are, I know it's a cliche, but things do get better. And if you're feeling down, just know somebody out there is probably thinking about you. And if you have a friend that's, hanging on your mind, shoot him a text message him on Discord, send him a message on Facebook, call them on the phone, do something. Just reach out to them, be like, hey, we haven't talked in a while, but I'm thinking about you. And just be there for someone. Just be there. And if you're in the same situation I've ever been in, try and get yourself a fish tank. You don't have to go crazy like I did and get 30 tanks. Get yourself a 5-gallon, and even if you just keep betta fish. Do a betta fish and some easy plants like Java Fern or some Anubias. And just remember that fish is depending on you for everything now. And just look at the beautiful tank you can create, even in a 5-gallon setting. And then maybe you start hanging out in live streams, or you comment on a couple videos, or even you're just a lurker, and you just sit there and you listen during every live stream, or you watch all the videos and you just don't say anything. Just know that this community does care about people, and your fish care about you, and you're your fish's whole world. And I want to say thank you to everybody, and thank you to my fish. I know it sounds crazy. My dog, if you've got dogs, it's easier to explain that you love your dog and you don't want to abandon them. But just thank you to everybody and everyone that's been there for me. And I'm so grateful I didn't do what I was planning on doing. Okay, well, now you guys know my sad, sappy life story. I hope this, even if this helps one person, or touches one person and prevents them from doing something they'll forget, they will regret. Sorry. Just know the people online, especially in the fish keeping community, the fish fam, they do care about you, and they don't want to see you disappear. We've lost several people in the just short 3 years I've been a part of this community, and every time we lose someone, I can say with 100% sincerity, everybody that's been around and interacted with those people, even if it was just once or they just say hi in chat, they feel it. They feel the loss. And I've just had so much loss in my life. And fish is my therapy. And going to fish conventions and fish shows and club meets and swaps and just hanging out with all the amazing people in this community has 100% saved my life and just allowed me to continue on. So I'm just going to say thank you. Thank you for watching. And if this did help you, or you think it'll help someone else, please share it out. Hit the like button, and I'll see you guys around streams and in videos. And until next time, I hope you guys are safe, healthy, and I'll talk to you all later.